So basically, you're cautioning people to look at where you are getting advice, so look at who you are getting advice from.
Yeah.
No, because you understand the good team.
If I couldn't well, the friendship is fine. Kumnandi, we're having that. Everyone knows what's in again, you know.
They don't know. They've learned to become a man due to seeing
The other guys
out there, but not actually learning from their parents or from their dads. This is how you should be.
This is how you should
This
take care of yourself.
Yes, exactly.
On as well.
Oh, okay. For me, oh gosh.
Giving us a bit about yourself before getting to
All right. So I am Bubu, guys. Hello.
Welcome to the Gentleman's Club, a podcast where sophistication meets self-discovery. I'm never alone. I'm with my brother here, Tammy, and I'm with the guy who never want to appear on the camera, the Ghost Man. And we have a special guest today with a special topic today. I will leave it up to Tammy to take you through.
And her name is Norma.
Oh, okay. Our special guest today is Norma.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to leave it to Tammy to open up and shoot my brother.
Okay, so today's topic is are real men in prison? In a sense of most people who went in prison actually stood up for what they believe in or what they saw is right for themselves, either if it's bad for society or good for society. Some, yes, it's family orientated, but also ended up bad. But we should take into consideration as well that most of the men in society in this day and age are conditioned by the rules of society and what I would say they or the elite people want us to be. So with that said, I had that question in mind and wanted to debunk it and hear your guys' perspective on it. Do you have anything to say about it?
According to your perspective on what we just discussed, do you feel or do you think that real men are in prison, or you feel that men that are not in prison are the good men? I know the topic is based on are real men in prison. So according to your perspective.
Okay, so my perspective, I would say, to a higher extent, I'd say real men are in prison because they know how to stand up for their rights, stand up for themselves, stand up for their families. And then in the society that we're in right now, like, without saying anything bad or whatever, but like the men that we have right now are men that also have the mentality of they also want to be taken care of. You get the sense that now it's the thing that now it's more like a 50-50 thing, and if you're not gonna be there, if you're not gonna help you meet your needs halfway, then there's no point. And in a sense as well as like the first thing when we get into courtship, right? Like in most cases right now, the men that we have around, the first thing they'll ask you, where do you work?
True.
Serious?
Yeah, like it happens. So then, if you look at it like in the previous times and all that, a man knows that this is my responsibility and I will do whatever I have to do that, even if it means him like going into prison. And then with right now, it's kind of like different, very different. I don't know, but that is my view on how I see it with the society that we in right now.
No, you definitely making sense.
Okay, so the question I have based on what you are saying is that if we were to look at social media, not social media per se, like the movies that are showing people and all those things. Yes, most of the romantic movies are about a female cheating on another guy, but the fantasy dream that you see on Disney is about you finding that one guy, the many frogs that you have to kiss in order to find a prince. Basically, they're just telling you that you need to get married to this ideal type of person. But if that ideal type of person, chances of him being yours are now like cut down, because the probability of you finding him here in society are slim and you finding him in prison are higher. So isn't that also raising some sort of red flag to you? Because if this person is capable of such danger, then why associate yourself with him?
To answer your question, that's very deep. Do you know that mentality or that sense of girls like bad boys?
Yes.
It gets back to
True,
that.
true.
Because you know that the bad boy knows his responsibility. He knows what to do.
How?
And how, like, he knows that his sole responsibility is to take care of my partner, take care of my people.
A bad boy.
It can't
Yeah,
make sense.
in
In what way?
and we're talking about people in prison and what they went in there. And most of them went there because of crime, because they wanted to do better for themselves, for their families, and they wanted to have a good name or a good look onto society.
But the people that you're talking about, most of them are hustlers. If
No.
you're saying, wait, if you're saying, Gucci, most of them, or if you're saying the guy that you're talking about went to prison trying to hustle for their family and stuff, those are hustlers.
Hmm.
Those are hustlers.
Yes.
So a hustler and what we're talking about, I feel like it's different, and I feel like there's different stages on what we're talking about, because a good guy might be. I had this conversation with you for so many times. You can be a good person, but then when you're angry, we don't know how you're gonna react. For an example, let's say you two are dating, and you know how women are. You push him into a corner where he finally snaps and he loses himself. He's gonna do things that we never thought he could do, and then you're gonna get people like us, and they'll be like, I find no time." To me, I would say that's a good person who is in prison. And the second person that I would say is in prison is a person who didn't have money in the morning. Probably went partying, clubbing, and didn't have money in the morning. And didn't have a plan. And you know how this society is. Most women are hustlers first. And then that guy's in prison. But a person who's going to be robbing and stealing and doing all those things, I don't think that's a good person that is in prison, or that's a real man who's in prison. Because in all these people that I've mentioned, a guy who was a hustler, if he gets out, he's going to hustle again. But these two will change their life and will try by all means to get rid of their criminal record. Because I'm not sure if you, but I think we are able to get rid of it at some point.
True.
But those two will make sure that they get rid of that criminal record, and they will never be in prison again. But the hustler, when he gets out, he's gonna try and get a hold of his friends and probably do another heist. Because how many people have you heard of who went to prison for heist, and then they came out, they did another heist again? But how many people do you know who was falsely accused of rape, came out of prison and still rape again?
So it all comes back to the sense of, okay, we have multiple men in prison, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that most women, we like the men that are not supposed to be exactly the bad boys, the ones that have got that story, that that heartbreaking one. Because if you check in the society right now, how many good boys are getting hurt and getting, like they're feeling shattered over trusting a girl and how many bad boys do you know are literally getting those relationships and they're having things that actually work because they are mostly respected than the good boys.
But
Because
don't you think, regarding the bad guy situation, it's a double-edged sword.
It
Where now, regarding the females, it's more of, I think that they lack morals and they want instant gratification.
that's true.
And then another thing is that some do not even know how to practice delayed gratification. like compounding like your progress or work or money and savings and stuff, but they just want the rewards to pretty privilege and what they have access to. But now regarding the bad guy, it's also a double-edged sword because there's two different people as well.
That's true.
The first so-called bad boy you'd find is someone that who works for himself, made ends meet, and became successful, like that nerd in the classroom. Now, that nerd, once he has access to seeing such girls and dating such girls or being around those girls, he realizes that these girls did not put enough effort to actually deserve to be with me. Because one thing most girls who lack morals end up doing is sleeping around. That's what they predominantly depend on.
But then you know that that's what is happening right now.
Yes.
Like we literally hype up sleeping around, don't we?
Yes.
Exactly. You see it also with how the dress codes and everything like that.
Yes.
And also it also comes back again to the background that I grew up in.
Yes.
Having the type of father that I had. If I grew up with a father who was a hustler, initially I would want a man who is a hustler. You know? And despite us having men in prison, that is true. We can't also clap hands for everyone that's there because there are other people who went there for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
But there are men who probably were wrongfully,
Accused.
accused, and then they know what is needed. They know what they have to do, and they know how to treat their family. It's just that they were in the wrong place, wrong time, But then they would literally like to change their setting. But now with us and in our social growth and everything, the way that we are all brought up also impacts on how we tend to look for our partners or we tend to look at, people outside.
True, but I would say that leans more to your traditional customs. Because your traditional customs and traditional values actually determine the kind of guy you pivot towards.
That's true. But then,
now, if you eliminate tradition and you add the Western culture, you're now losing an essence of who you are. And then on top of that, I wanted to highlight one thing again. If you were to check most countries that are developed, like your Qatar or your Iran and stuff, yes, they have a fair share of doing bad things to females. But if you were to look at how females are disciplined in those areas, it's because most of the men take a stand to not diminish their dignity or their masculine side. Whereas here we are more open to watching it happen.
exactly.
So if that's the case and the real men are actually in prison and the actual good men who are actually here in society are not given their flowers until they're actually dead. Because there was this other guy that once said a man actually gets his first flowers in his funeral, which actually emphasizes the level of ignorance regarding society and the females towards the good people.
That's true. But in the sense of, with getting with traditional roots, do you know that most South African households or families, they no longer focus mostly on their traditional roots? It's more like the Western culture now.
And that's the problem.
That is the whole problem. So now I will look at the Western culture and be like, oh, okay, this is how things are supposed to be done. And I will think, okay, no, but then this person was spending for the family or was doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they got into prison. And then I will be like, okay, no, he deserves, a whole lot of flowers more than the ones that are outside. Because I feel like the feeling that we literally grew up with is good. See, most people that we have here literally don't pay attention to women. We get also abusers who are still here in the society.
But that's the Western culture and not traditional.
But that's why we are now in the Western culture. We now literally prioritize the Western culture than we do our roots.
Exactly, but
you won't find me respecting a man anymore.
Yes.
You will find me now fighting and speaking over you like what I just did right now.
Yes.
It'll be that thing that, he has to listen to me because now we work 50-50.
Yes.
And you be like, okay, I came with 500 rand. How much do you have? I'm like, okay, I have 5. So I'll feel like I'm also superior to you because what you do, I can do as well.
Yes, but in the long run, you'll end up being alone because chances are, if you meet up with a guy that earns, let's just say 50,000, and you also earn 50,000, you won't be as invested in the relationship unless the guy adds more to the table or he does more.
That's true.
But now the probability of finding such a successful person and you being such a successful person are very slim, depending on the area codes in which you reside in. Because if you were to look at the stats, last time I checked, in order for you to be in the rich 12% in South Africa, you need to earn, I think, 25,000 a month, which is plus minus a basic salary of a teacher in a private school.
That's true.
And then in order for you,
So basically, it means that teachers are good. Yeah.
yes, decent. And then if you were to be in the rich 1%, like globally in the whole world, you need to earn like $300,000, so that's plus minus like 6 million rand a year. But if you have a floating 8 million rand and above, you're part of the rich 1%, meaning you're in the category of Elon Musk, but at the bottom of the food chain. And such success is to get it through tenders and all those things. And the very same men who are getting those tenders, there are some who are good, who are guiding kids, are grooming them and all those. They're not getting flowers, and most females are not saying that's the man you need to be. But the ones who are filling up the table are the ones girls who pivot towards and entertain. Meaning the ones who lack morals have a louder voice. And then eventually society will go towards them. But the problem is, in the long run, if you girls don't have that ideal person to invest in, society will diminish.
And on that same note, on society, society has now taught us girls to stand for ourselves and not afraid to live alone. So we can come in with that 50-50, but in the long run, I'll be like, no, man, I don't need you anymore. Because we've got a whole different way on looking at things. Just the same thing, like now we're taking the whole Western thing. I don't know, how divorcing was a problem growing up.
Yes.
Now it's not a problem. It's
Even
very
divorce
normal.
parties.
Exactly. Like I literally, you would even recommend like, oh, why don't you just divorce your person? It's no longer that thing that, no, we're going to stay, we're going to work this out. It's that thing that I don't care. If you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, you're not. So even if you could get your flowers, you're not going to get the flowers that you do deserve, because most people will feel that the people that did deserve the flowers are probably locked up somewhere.
Yes. But
Because
now,
of crimes that we fully do not understand. Because at the end of the day, like right now with the social status that we're in, we literally praise people like, for instance, like your Tabo Pestas and all that.
yes.
Those people are like highly
Matala.
praised right now,
Yes.
and we forget the people that we have close to us who build us up.
Yes.
Like, in the sense of, I can be as a girl or as a female, and then I can have just a normal guy. But once I get to the level that I want to, I don't see you as my equal anymore.
Isn't
That's why
that a
you get
problem?
also people starting the whole abusive thing, because you as a man came into my life, you saw that I needed to be educated, you took me to school, you furthered my education, you took me to whatever I needed. And once I finished and I graduated, I was like, you know what? Exactly, I deserve better.
Now you
And then
expect me to be humble.
Exactly.
Because
And
there's
then
something that's going to wake up in
the same next person that I probably might get is someone who was less of your status. It's probably like someone who I know that we have the stigma that I know I'm going to get someone who cares also about one.
Mm.
We get that sense. And that is literally not the right thing.
But now, where are your older sisters to guide you to say, as much as this person is a good person, stick to this person? Where are those older women?
In this day and age,
Yes.
we no longer have that.
That's a problem, because now
That's
there's-
where everything has to, like, it has to start from back then.
Because there's a story that I can't. Oh, there's a story that I came across. It's trending now. So this guy is a gamer and a YouTuber. Made a girl, suggested that the girl makes a YouTube channel because he has a huge following. The girl ended up having like 1.4 million subscribers. No. She still has less than him. And then fine, this guy's a international gamer, like for EA and all those things.
Twitch.
I think so. And then the girl got cancer. Fortunately, the guy had the same blood type. The guy donated blood to him, to her. Donated until she won the fight with cancer and she beat it back to normal. Then as soon as she recovered, she said she now needs to discover herself. Meaning now you're leaving the guy that contributed to your brand, your image, to your everything, to the fact that you are still alive. And then the thanks that you give him is, I need to go discover myself outside this relationship. Only to find out that she's with someone that's close to him. So where are the sisters to say, look, as much as you see this danger as a form of excitement, in the long run, it will not play in your favor because this person is good and he can be a good role model to other people. Because now, if this man now decides to be alone, he's now in the category of bad people. So the system of grooming men to what they necessarily need to be is now being depicted due to the moral values of these females in this day and age. So where are those sisters to say, look, I've been in your position. Do not change this person or do not do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Make the right decision.
I feel like the sisters could be there, but the question is, are you willing to take that advice? When we have advice as well from all around us. I have friends, I have cousins, I have people that I'm seeing social, like social network women who are out there doing their own things, promoters, and I'll see them living the life that I want to live. And then you will be coming to me and telling me, no, don't do this. Who do you think I would probably listen to?
We go to the influencers.
Exactly.
Because the results, you see them now.
Exactly.
But now, the problem is we need to practice delayed gratification on both ends.
And the other thing we need to practice is having our men being firm with what they say.
They're firm with what they say regarding short-term things.
Exactly.
But not long-term.
Not long-term. And you can say something right now, and trust me, tomorrow it's that inconsistency. Tomorrow it's something else. It's a whole different story. That brings you to the whole point of no. Like, where are the men that used to be men that when they say no, it's a no, and when they say it's a yes, it's a yes? Because now I can be the one who, like, you say no, I'm like, but maybe we can, and we end up literally bending to what I am saying. And that's what makes us to be like, okay, no, it's not as valid as it used to be.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say? Oh, my bad.
I know you close it. No, you close it. I'm not lost in thoughts.
Guys, as you can see, we're getting lost with thoughts and we also have a lot to say, but the time has been cut short. Please comment in the comment section as to what you think, and we'll see if we can do a part 2 regarding this topic, because I see that we haven't even scratched the surface regarding this thing. So please stay tuned for the next episode and other topics related to this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you incredible?
What?